22-23 season has begun, not in the NHL, of course, or the AHL, but it's begun elsewhere around the world. And as you're very well aware, some of the Islanders prospects are playing in those leagues that have begun. And so what I want to do today is just talk about where these players are playing, physically speaking. Because while I know, you might not know, or you might like to know where they're playing. So we're going to go from east to west, and you'll see there actually isn't really that many places where they're playing. You might think that there's guys all over the place in different parts of the world, and while that's sort of true, it's not as widespread, or they're not playing in that many different countries. Now we go to the east, right? We're starting from east to west, and as far east as we need to go is Finland. We have 3 prospects playing there: Aleksi Malonen, Matias Rajaniemi, and Eetu Juukas. Now they're all playing for SM Liiga side, so that's the top league in Finland. But their roles are quite different. Well, again, one is a forward and 2 are defensemen, so already their roles are different. But you'll see what I mean when I describe their roles for the various teams. We'll start with Eetu Juukas. That's a 5th round pick. He is playing for HPK. It's Hamalina. T is going to kill me, or at least tell me what the proper pronunciation is. I believe it's Hamalina, but I'm probably wrong. There's 2 N's there and 2 E's, and I've certainly screwed it up. Either way, HPK, that's where he plays for. Now, he was brought in the offseason, signed a 1-year deal with them. It was supposed to be more of a bottom 6 role, kind of like maybe even middle 6 guy. But now he's up to the top line, and that's quick. They're only like 5 games into the year. He's playing on the top line for HPK and killing it. He is killing it. The points are there, and he is dangerous both with the puck on and off of his stick. He has been lights out, amazing for HPK this year. He is one of my favorite prospects for the Islanders. He plays in Hamelina for HPK. Then we move to Matias Rajaniemi, who plays in Lahti for the Lahti Pelicans. I believe I pronounced that correctly. He's a defenseman. He hasn't been playing for the last little while, and I haven't heard yet if he's injured. I've sent word to Lahti or to the Pelicans, and I'm just waiting back for word, but I believe he might be injured because he hasn't played for the last 3 games. While he was playing, he was more so a third pair defenseman for them. It still seems that Matias Rajaniemi hasn't necessarily figured out what type of defenseman he's going to be, but with his size, you would expect that he's more of a shutdown, physical Scott Mayfield-like, but he's just not that mean. So, still to work on that. Going to the defenseman still, but heading a little bit up north to Aleksi Malonen, who plays for JYP, and I'm gonna screw up the pronunciation for this city. It's Yisalva or something like that. I am not gonna pronounce it. Yvaskila. I screwed it up for sure. Either way, he plays for JYP. He is a defenseman, like I said. He hasn't played the last couple of games either. I don't believe he's injured, but it is possible. Let's just say before his injury, he was playing on the 7th, or he was the extra defenseman. He was their 7th defenseman, so he's just kind of extra for them, it seems, which is sad. I thought he'd be in their top 4, at least bottom 4, let's say. And that isn't something that's happening, at least early in the year. Hopefully that changes. Now we move a little bit west, but staying still in Scandinavia, where we focus in on Sweden, where we have 2 prospects playing there. We have Kalle Udelius and Alex Ljungcrantz. They're playing in different parts of not only of the Swedish hockey pyramid, but different parts of the country itself. Kalle Udelius, defenseman, drafted in 2022, plays for Djurgårdens. Now, they play out of Stockholm, so the capital itself. Just south of there's like a little island in the actual city itself, and they play off of that kind of thing. I believe it's close to it. Either way, plays for Djurgårdens, but they play in the Allsvenskan. That's the 2nd tier of the Swedish hockey pyramid. So not the SHL, the top league. They play the league below that. He is playing on their 2nd pair, getting about 15, 18 minutes a night, so not necessarily 2nd pair minutes. But for someone that young, he is one of their top defensemen. From there, we move up north to Galve. I always mispronounce the name where Alex Lundkrantz plays, Gavle. Either way, he's playing for Brynäs. They play in the SHL. Now, Alex Lundkrantz, I thought was going to cement a role in their bottom six, either on the fourth line or third line this year. And it started off that way. He was playing on the fourth line pretty consistently, but that has since changed where he's dropped down to become an extra. And some nights he's just not playing. He's suiting up. He's sitting on the bench. They're just not playing him. And so that's where things are. But what we're trying to do with this video is just tell you where these guys are playing. Alex Lundkrantz playing in the SHL for Brynäs. We move from Europe to North America. Yeah, you thought we weren't done with Europe, but we very much are. We only have 5 guys playing in Europe right now. Most of them are playing in North America, mainly because there's a North American heavy draft in 2022. But I've split North America into 2 sections, West and East, and we're going to start with the East section. Now, if we go from East to West within the just East section itself here, you'll see Bridgeport's the first one. There are a ton of prospects playing out of there, obviously, right? Ishkakov, Aratu, Tsvor, you name it, they're playing there basically. Holmstrom, they're all there, really. And so a big chunk of prospects are playing out in Bridgeport, which is a good thing, right? Like the system is going through Bridgeport. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, you can say, I wish it hadn't because Brent Thompson is there, but that's neither here nor there. You want your prospect pool at reach so that if someone is performing well, you can pluck him and put him at the NHL, which is the entire point of having a prospect pool. We move from Bridgeport and we go to Cornell, where Andon Song plays. Now, I only have him here because he is technically an Islanders prospect, but he has not played a competitive game for Cornell at all. Not once. And he's been there for 5 years now. Not a single game for Cornell since he was sent there or since he joined them, again, 5 years ago. So I don't think he's playing hockey. I don't think that this is going to work into anything at all. But he's still technically a prospect on their reserve list, so I just wanted to mention it. Now we move still a little bit more west where you have Thomas Mahu. I thought he had moved on from the the USHL and into the college ranks, but apparently that's not happening until next season where he will join Colorado College. So for now, he's playing out of Ohio, I don't know my states, for the Youngstown Phantoms of the USHL. So he's still at the USHL level for the Youngstown Phantom. We move continually west, but a little bit north where you have Isaiah George playing for the London Knights. That's a defenseman drafted this year. Excellent team to be plucking someone from. So London Knights, always a top organization in the OHL. So already, and you've heard stories from him in the camp, so look forward to him this year. Continuing west, we then go to Matthew Maggio, who it looks like he's playing in Detroit, but he's playing in Windsor, Matt Martin's hometown. It's right on the border. They are south of the American border, which sounds weird, but it's just the way that Ontario goes. They're in Windsor. Detroit is just above them. And so that's where he's playing for the Windsor Spitfires of the OHL. Late round draft pick for the Islanders. Had some decent numbers last year. Another name to look out for. Continuing west, we then have Tristan Lennox, who's playing for the Saginaw Spirit again this year. I expect good numbers from him, but over the first couple of games, I don't know what to think because he has not been playing well, at least statistically. I haven't been able to watch a game, but statistically speaking, things are not going well for him. The final one in the East section is Christian Krieger, who plays out of MSU. It's his 5th year. He entered the transfer portal, but didn't find a new home, so he stayed with MSU. Again, it's 5th year for this defenseman. Had a decent year last year, so we'll see if he can build on it now. Sorry, I realize I forgot a name. All the way on the east side of the Eastern U.S. section, and that's Alex Jeffries playing in Merrimack. Excellent year last year. I'm really hoping for big things in his 3rd year at the college level for Alex Jeffries. So look forward to him at Merrimack College. We then move to the western portion, and by western I really mean like west and central portion of North America, just to kind of rope in another player. There are 4 guys here. Quinn Finley is the first one out of Madison, Wisconsin, playing for the Madison Capitals of the USHL. And now, I thought he was also going to college just like Thomas Mahu, but that's not the case until next season where he joins Wisconsin. So for now, he's playing with the Madison Capitals of the USHL. Take another step west, and you have two players playing out of the same team. That's why they're together here, and that's Cameron Berg and Jacob Pavanka. Pavanka transferred there from Notre Dame this year. It seems they're playing him on their top line, and he's put up points, at least in the preseason. I hope that continues throughout the year, because my one criticism from him is that while he's an excellent two-way defenseman and phenomenal faceoff man, he just doesn't put up points. We'll see if that happens now with Omaha, Nebraska. I really hope it does. Fellow teammate Cameron Berg is also an Islanders prospect drafted in 2021. As it stands now, it seems that Jacob Pavanka's addition to the roster has put Cameron Berg over to the wing. He might move back to center during the year, but as it stands now through preseason, he's moved over to the wing, but still playing in their top six. So we might see more production from Cameron Berg, although 23 points last year is nothing to scoff at. Final one here, we're going all the way west and north to Kelowna, where Dalen Kufler, I don't know how to pronounce his last name properly, plays for the Kamloops Blazers of the WHL. Now, he's an older prospect drafted out of the, I believe, 7th round of the 2022 draft this year, obviously, by the Islanders. He is old enough to play at the AHL level. He's there at camp now. We'll see if he makes the Bridgeport Islanders team. I don't suspect so, but I will be happily surprised if he is. So that's it. That's the video. I just wanted to show you where these prospects were playing, because sometimes it's just kind of like, where is this guy again? Is he here? Is he there? Now we know where they all are. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're at 890. I'd love to get to 900. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. If you're about to do it, also thank you very much.